Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the short story Sexy by Jhumpa Lahiri. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right, Sexy, very interesting work here. We have this young woman by the name of Miranda. She's fresh out of college. She's 22. And she's working next to this colleague of hers by the name of Laxmi. And Laxmi is much older. Miranda's having an affair with a guy. He's also Indian by the name of Dev. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. Now, Laxmi, she has a cousin. The cousin has a husband, and the husband is cheating, has a whole affair with this woman, and the cousin has a son by the name of Rohan. So this whole story is about marriage and affairs. It's this young woman by the name of Miranda, and she's a mistress. You know, she's 22. She has this whole affair with Dev. He's a married man. He's an investment banker. He's making money. You know, when his wife goes to India to see family, to go visit, Miranda is having a full on affair, sleeping with Dev and having a relationship with him, going on dates. So whenever the wife is out of town, they're just having some fun. Um, and morally, ethically, this is something that's really bothering Miranda because she's trying to play it cool. I mean, these types of relationships don't really have an end game. I mean, the man is married. The man has a family. It's talking specifically about Dev. He's married. He has a family. His life is set up, and Miranda's this young 22-year-old kid. Dev is a little bit more mature, a little bit more in control of his life. I mean, 22 years old, Miranda's 22, so the men that she's used to dating, they're probably not as secure financially or just even internally, because 22-year-olds are still trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what they're going to do after college, where they're going to live, what they're going to be. So she kind of finds this fun and security and exotic nature by dating Dev because she's going to like super Indian supermarkets, looking at Indian culture, Indian geography. So Miranda, she likes Dev, but also I think she wants to be exotic and date somebody from a different culture. So there's a lot of curiosity, which I think a lot of young people, this is something that a lot of young people go through, especially if you live within the US. There's a lot of young people, they want to see what it's like to be with people from different races. So, especially in the early 20s, I think a lot of people, when they're in college, when they're dating in their early 20s, they want to date people from other cultures. I mean, um, humans are humans, and curiosity is something that's a part of the human condition. And so you can see that Miranda, she's dating Dev, she's having sex with him and enjoying his culture, eating the food that he eats, and understanding his culture. Becoming friends with Flaxme, her interactions with Rohan. Um, she's all, it's all exotic, it's all different, it's all getting a taste, part of a different culture, and kind of like absorbing it all in, literally. From a sexual standpoint, a romantic standpoint, a culture standpoint, but she's doing this all as a disruptor, as a, um, she's it's kind of like an evil way to enjoy somebody else's culture because like you're breaking this family. You're having an affair. You're sleeping with this guy that has a whole family, and throughout the whole short story, when she's having these conversations with Laxmi, she keeps her affair away, like from Laxmi, not telling Laxmi, um, her whole affair. And Lakshmi, she hates people who do this. She hates affairs. Lakshmi is a married woman herself. She's also Indian, and she doesn't want her husband to do that to her. And her cousin is going through this affair thing to the point where Lakshmi's cousin gets a divorce request from her husband. So all of this is in Miranda's mind, and this is something that she's all going through. Ultimately, Lakshmi's cousin gets the divorce paperwork, and Lakshmi and her cousin, they go off on a spa day to get some time together, and they leave Rohan on a Saturday with Miranda, and there's this cocktail dress that Miranda bought, and Rohan's like, "Can you try it on for me?" Which is kind of like very weird. There's like this weird energy, weird tension between Rohan and Miranda, because Rohan, he keeps following her when he's with her, and then he's like, "Hey, try on this dress for me, and you can change in front of me because my mom does it," which is like very creepy and weird that this boy, who's not even 10, just wants to, this woman. I mean, she's 22. Um, she just wants this woman to be comfortable just changing in front of him. I mean, it's just kind of that's just another part of the story. But she changes, and then Rohan's like, "You look sexy," and it's the same thing that Dev was saying to to Miranda. Because Dev also thought Miranda was sexy, and Rohan is saying that Miranda is sexy, and it's like unnerving and creepy. And then, Miranda asks Rohan, "What do you think sexy means?" And he says, "Well, it's like loving someone you don't know," which makes a lot of sense because affairs are not about knowing or being in love or knowing somebody truly and deeply. Affairs are about the passion, the sex, the enjoyment, the nuance, the newness. And also, I would say some couples like the fact that they're sneaking around too. So there's also an edge of being discovered and hiding. And some people get a thrill out of sneaking around. For some people, it's just an extra bonus to try to not be caught and to lie and to sneak around their significant other. Well, this all of this gets to Miranda, and ultimately she distanced herself from Dev, and it's all broken up in the end, and Miranda is left on her own and lonely. And Miranda, from the text, we can see that she does definitely have a problem with being alone. She doesn't want to be alone, and loneliness is an issue for her. In terms of deeper meaning analysis, I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening here. Again, uh, Miranda's 22. There's not like an overwhelming desire to be married. I mean, she has plenty of time to get married. Um, Early 20s, right out of college. Some people want to wait a couple years before they get married. So it's not the fact that she wants to get married. It's her curiosity with dating an older man, her curiosity with finding more mature men, not wanting to be alone. And these are things that, as you grow up, you learn, but sometimes you can be a villain in other people's lives, especially for older women. Life is much more dangerous and much more complex for older women because if your husband leaves you for a younger woman, we're talking about kids. How does this affect the kids? How does this affect you? How does this affect your life, your financial status? Because if you're a woman and you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, and your husband decides to leave you for a younger woman, now you have to worry about your finances. You have to worry about the children. You have to reset up your life, and your life is just blown up just because a girl fresh out of college just wanted to have some fun with your husband. Um, and it hurts a lot of people. It hits the children, it hurts families, and it's a detriment to society because now you got to get lawyers involved. Now you have to get, sometimes you have to get police involved. Sometimes it includes domestic violence. And, no one ever walks clean away from affairs. And Miranda definitely, she doesn't walk clean because she's not loved. It's not like Dev loves her. He's just having sex, having fun, having a good time with her, and it's just the new thing, the young girl and the old guy. It's a story as old as time. It's all about hedonism and pleasure and sneaking around. Um, because again, I think Rohan really puts it into perspective with the word sexy. When you call someone sexy, it's like you don't know the person, but physically, there's the lust, there's the passion, it's like, trying to drive a brand new Maserati, right? The new thing on the block. It's fun and passion, but true love, it's deep, it's multi-layered, it's nuanced, it's being with your best friend, it's knowing each other's, good traits, bad traits, being able to laugh with somebody and being able to be open and free with somebody and not being, hiding in the corners, hiding in the shadows, keeping secrets away from people that you love. True love is not something that you hide, it's something that you show to the world. Um, so, yeah, it does get to Miranda, and ultimately that's what kind of leads her to break it off with Dev because you know, that the burden of lying to her colleague and Lakshmi, the burden of experiencing what Rohan is going through with his dad leaving and divorce and the heartache, that's all weighing on her because she's the mistress. And this is really great with this short story because it's really giving us an insight into what some mistresses might be feeling when they are the girl that the affair is being done with. Because the mistresses, people always ask, why do you have to go after the married men? And I think Miranda's story does kind of give shed some light onto this because she's like, I don't want to be alone, and I'm curious. I want to know what it's like to be with an Indian man. You know, I like how this is going. So some people they throw ethics and morals and justice out the window because they don't want to be alone. They want to have some fun and they want to focus on themselves. But when the burden becomes too much, I think Miranda's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore because there's so much emotional baggage and so much pain that I'm seeing this cause between families and Lakshmi and Rohan and the role I'm playing with it, and she's just done. All right, so that's all I have to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.